Hello and welcome back to the Impression Wiz channel. I'm your host, the Impression Wiz. And, last time around, some freaky things kind of happened. One is somehow my dice rolls were pretty much predicted by Vriska, because I rolled a 19 and a 2, and those were the numbers pre-written into the game. I had no idea. It was freaky just how well that matched up. We also saw one of the characters from Friend Sim, which I'm not too surprised that that was a possibility, but the whole time thing and like mind manipulation and puppetry got a little wonky. And then we ended up here, running into Doc Scratch. That's like the best kind of little summary I can have, and we're continuing from this, Doc Scratch, and I'll be honest, a little surprised. I guess we'll continue. I seem to be on your mind. I'm flattered. It's no wonder you're thinking about me just after meeting one of my greatest disappointments. You really do spend too much time around willful little girls. It may start to give you ideas. Ideas of choice, of challenge. You're relevant because those holding the strings decide that you're relevant. An observer. The show must go on, but don't make the mistake these little ingrates did. It can go on without you, the bits that really matter, at least. What's that? Am I doing this? I'm afraid not, darling. I don't even know what you're referring. Tears sear at the edge of your eyes again. You try to keep Baldir's words in your mind as the strings squeeze the breath out of you. What will you do? Another voice seems to answer from another place entirely. Scratchy and loud, it says, "Fix this." You wake up. Cold Stone and Draft greeting you. Charming. Well, now we're back with Vriska. What? Honestly, that little mindfuckery thing just is woof. And you know, I'm sorry if Vriska ends up being 3 episodes because of that little mindfuckery. I wouldn't be surprised because there's probably more choices coming up and I might choose the wrong one. And I don't know how long they might be. But I'm just going to say that might keep me in mind, and it'd also be kind of fitting if Vriska's last episode ended up being 8. I can't always say that, but I don't know. You blearily open your eyes, memories of the dream already fading to wisps in your mind. You're in the clustered bedroom, or the clustered respite block that you're sure is Vriska's. Based on the broken 8 balls scattered everywhere, you pick yourself up off the ground and try to think about how you got here. I'd also look out for the random D4s scattered about. They're sharp. Especially if they happen to be metal like the ones I have. Like 2 of them that I have. Anyway, you passed out back on the the ship. She must have brought you home, but where is she? You turn around to see a window. You look outside to see a dramatic scene below. Vriska is mind controlling a group of thralls. One she must have won off of Dreadclaw while you were out cold. They're marching one by one towards a massive web. Perched in the web is a giant spider, heaving, hulking, hungry, her Eleusis. Vriska's about to feed the losers of this game to her Eleusis. Like I said, I might have the right or the wrong answer here. I'm going to intervene. It feels like the wrong one, kind of. Holy shit, this was supposed to be a game! These innocent kids are getting fed to a fucking spider! And it's all because of your definitely essential contributions to Vriska's victory. This is so messed up. Games don't cause violence, you think? As you rush down the stairwell, they can't. Vriska is going to discredit an entire generation of gamers and add fuel to the fire of anti-gaming activism with this kind of behavior. Actually, that's actually fair. Oh, and also killing some kids. That's like normal Eternian stakes, though. You gotta defend the integrity of Fortnite. That's much more important, obviously. You rush out into the late night air, too late to save a tranquilized, mind-controlled olive blood from being torn asunder. Vriska's Eleusis holds the troll boy in her forelegs. Petty pulps smears through clothing like celerate tearing into gray flesh. Feeding a winding intestine into her mouth. I'm sorry for the descriptions of this. Warnings. I'll put the warnings into the description, but you feel like you're gonna yards. You have no idea what you're doing, standing out here alone against the giant monster and this gaggle of mind-controlled thralls, but you gulp down some air and yell, "Stop!" Vriska turns to you, and she doesn't look like she's doing a lot better, frankly. She's got a similarly sick expression on her face, but something in her eyes is dead, resigned. Her expression crumples into a scowl. What the fuck are you doing? She squints her one eye in pain like there's a voice screaming inside her head. I know, okay? I know! I'm dealing with it! She steps up towards you, and you see cerulean dice appear one at a time between her fingers. The dice are sparkling with cold blue flame. You suddenly feel as though you're going to have a very, very bad time. Did somebody say they're going to have a bad time? Sorry, had to do it. Sans reference. First, you fall asleep on me like a weenie, and I have to fight the last encounter all on my own. Then, I carry you back to safety even though we just met. You owe me. Turn around and go back. Now. You look up past her at the giant spider. The awful noise of squelching has stopped. 8 eyes are trained on you, blinking out of order. A spattering palette of multicolored blood is smeared all over her slothering mouth. There's 7 trolls still standing there beside her, mindlessly mouths lolling. Next. You don't turn around. You don't go back. You stand your ground, unarmed and without a plan. Surely your new friend will see how wrong this is. Vriska looks, hurt for a moment, betrayed, but the glare settles back on her face. You think you're a big hero stopping this dangerous bitch, right? Happy as a Bavave mollusk about your little protagonist moment? You're being stupid. You don't understand what's happening here. What I have to do. You can't fix this. Nobody can. So now you're just another little weenie who thinks they're a hero and I'm a villain. So sure, I'll play ball. I'll be exactly what you want. She tosses the dice on the ground. And I have no control over that. She does. Baroness Restraint. The dice glow with a blue flame as they tumble to a stop. An ethereal wisp materializes and snaps around your ankles, and you are dragged dazzlingly fast towards the spider's web. The friction of your ass on the rocky cliff face tears the butt off of your flarp costume, exposing your delicate cheeks to chafing, your greatest asset. Oh gosh. But things get far worse than that as you are flung directly into the clutches of the horrific arachnid. The fangs of Vriska's Lucis pierce your skin and pump you full of numbing venom that causes everything to fade to black and static numbness. Which is good, because she's beginning to eat you alive. It's also good because you can't see or hear a little girl stifle a sniffle, holding herself with crossed arms, one mechanical, and rocking back and forth, watching another friend consumed by this chaos that never leaves her. Great work, hero. You got forward. Oh. I knew that was going to be an ending, but I didn't realize it was going to be that ending. Do I have an autosave of that? I do. Thank you very much. So we're not going to intervene. Okay, holy shit. Vriska's Lucis is a giant spider monster that eats children. That explains so much, and also raises a significant number of questions that you are going to think about while not watching these kids get eaten. You look for something to distract yourself with. You spot a black, ragged book, much older than anything else in this room, with Vriska's symbol on the cover. You reach for it and open it, flipping to a random page and see what looks like a journal scrawled in cerulean, but not Vriska's handwriting from your character sheet. Looking inside the first page, you see the name Mindfang. You read, and holy shit, you're very unsure this is appropriate for your young girl to be reading. You keep flipping through to different parts, and wow, it just gets worse. Vriska named her character after this? You lose yourself in hate reading Mindfang's long stories about petty crime, dubious consent, and weirdly detailed descriptions of the outfits of a woman named Redglare. I mean... You're surprised, then, when Vriska walks up the stairs, hands in her pockets, looking at the ground. She doesn't even look at you before sitting down on the floor across from you, cross-legged and staring 1,000 yards into the distance. She rocks back and forth, hands still in her pockets. You go to give her a reassuring pat on the back. As soon as you touch her, her metal shoulder cold even through her shirt. She turns to you with a jumping glare and hisses like a cat before facing you away again. You get the message. She takes an 8-ball out of her inventory again, and then savagely, brutally beats it on the stone floor of her room until it's nothing but shards in a puddle. Then the two of you sit. She occasionally picks through the debris of the 8-ball and rocks, clenching and unclenching her fists. But as the minutes pass, her breathing slows bit by bit. You don't say a word or bring up what happened. She's the one who talks first. Earlier, you seemed confused about why I care so much about playing a character. She thumbs the dog-eared edge of a worn piece of paper in her sharp-clawed hand. Staring at the wall, she's still got blood on her jacket. Blood that almost makes you retch with the momentary memory of spidery mandibles devouring her spoils. One glimpse of it made you sick. What would dozens do? Hundreds. I mean, it seems obvious to me that the Marquise is the greatest and coolest character ever made. But I've been her for so long, it's sort of like a part of me. Everybody's throwing shapes every day and acting like something, right? But most people are so boring. They don't dress up, they don't act, they're always so obsessed with being the exact kind of troll they were yesterday. Maybe you don't have to be the same. Maybe you can go on message boards and try out being someone new and find out you like it. Maybe it's nice to be called something your Lucis doesn't call you. And maybe people who only ever knew you as the girl online or the other ship who is like super badass and good at things. Come on. You can't tell me you've never wanted to be someone else. You've edged a bit closer to her during this rant and are looking at the sheet of paper in her hands. It's a spreadsheet-looking series of boxes she's filled in with red ink. Name, Spinneret, or Marquis Spinneret Mindfang. Class, Petticoat Seagrift. Gender, F. Levels, all of them. She's doodled all over the margins. Art of her captaining ships and swinging swords and drinking out of goblets. Have you ever wanted to be someone else? The question makes you uncomfortable. Just pondering who you are now fills you with unsure. Fuck playing a character. Filling out a sheet like this for yourself seems impossible. A piece of paper representing all your physical and mental attributes. A blank canvas. The common outlines thereon defining the boundaries of every conceivable personality. You don't even know how you filled in the gender box. You've been busy making friends, okay? Suddenly she turns on you, and there's a desperate kind of crazy intensity in her good eye, like her gaze will burn you. You're going to leave, aren't you? No, yeah, of course, everybody does. Do you think I like this? I used to have a partner. She didn't like it either, but she helped anyways. Anyway, like you, I guess, except she didn't puke when she saw blood. And also not like you at all. She made rules. She loves rules. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not like that. Big on those gambling at Queens broke rules all the time. And that's just what you've got to do to survive. To make the voice stop haranguing you. Some of the words are hard for me to pronounce. I apologize. And like, she hurt her Lucis in her head too, but she didn't need anything from her. What's that even like? I've got to be the best. I didn't get all the levels just to look at them on the sheet. You saw me out there. It's dangerous. She tries to kill me and left me alone. She tried to kill me and left me alone. And then I got even because that's what you have to do to backstabbers. But I still don't feel even. It doesn't bother her. Nobody ever cares. They just leave and move on, and I'm still stuck here on this stupid world. How are people mad at me for putting losers out of their fucking misery? This planet fucking sucks. Oh boy. Oh boy is right. That's a lot. You let her finish her tirade. She doesn't look straight at you for the whole thing. She gently asks how her Moirail, who did you just befriend, would feel about her saying she's alone. You see a lot of thoughts flicker through her head, and a lot of expressions dance across her face. She settles on a look like she's smelling something off. People always shift. People always want shit from other people. Sometimes you know somebody and you can't describe like what your whole deal is. You grow up with these ideas about what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to be. You get handed down these strict categories, tables in your player's handbook. And you read stories or journals or whatever that says, this is a matesprit. You feel like this about them. And you have a Moirail that meddles with you because you're just too broken for her, and she just wants. I don't know if I said wants enough, but I'm not going to say it too many more times. Or you get told, oh, this is what a rival looks like, and then you look at your black deck, or black date, and it's just an absolute repulsive, slimy eel who always wants you to kiss him. And ew. Man, I could really upgrade in that department. But then there's someone that comes along and none of that stuff makes sense to you. You just like being with her. Or it's not even like you just feel like shit makes more sense with her. I would say it's like you have this voice in your head saying you're not good enough all the time, but she makes it quiet, but I actually do have a voice in my head saying I'm not good enough. God, I'm not explaining this right. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, that's a doomsday device. Everyone leaves, nobody cares, and we're all waiting on a call-up to war. And look, I'm ready. I'm the best at war. It's just a big flip. But I'd rather have a plan B. You give Vriska a moment to breathe. You don't give her a reassuring touch on the back, remembering her jump and hiss when you tried that last. She's like a feral cat, this girl. Tangled, greasy hair drooping over shoulders that are always hunched up, like something would come for her throat if she exposed to it anyone. You wonder if she ever let her shoulders down around the girl she's talking about. An ex, perhaps? Of course she did. You wonder if she ever will again. You hear a psst in your ear and a squirrely little laugh and suddenly remember a green room and that you've had this thought before somehow. You ask her the question that's been consuming you, or more accurately, not consuming you. Why were you left up here when everyone else got fed to the spider? She tenses up immediately when you ask this, and takes some time to clench her fists, then release them. Some people are off limits. She has to eat, but she doesn't eat my friends when I bring her enough food. And you're counted as off limits. You're one of her friends. Oh my god, don't get a big head about it. I wouldn't let her eat Karkat either. And he's not like my BFFCs for life or anything. Plus, you helped me out, and that's the pirate code. Plus, Fussy Fangs would be mad. It must be hard separating trolls into two classes, friend and food, like that. It must be hard and nobody understands. I mean, that's how it is. It works here. Everybody's got someone to kick down on. Except Rustbloods. But them's the breaks. Somebody's gotta be on the bottom to keep the whole shebang afloat. Killing people lower down than you is just what the school feeds say you're supposed to do. To get ready for a life of space war against, well, it mostly seems like they just kill more lowbloods. That's all it ever is. My ancestor. She looks left and right as though she's going to be overheard, then leans in smirkingly. She sounds like she's letting you in on a secret. Or a circuit. Or a secret. My ancestor Mindfang. She sailed around being the terror of the high seas for a while, but she fell into a group that was going to do something about all that. A bunch of weirdos led by a mutant who wanted revolution. I've always wanted to be like her. I like using her name more than my own for I liked using her name more than my own for a while, dressing up like her, learning to sail, but I always ended up back here with a pile of corpses. That's having a Lucis, right? Sometimes you don't get to do what you want to do. She talks to me, you know. It only stops when she's full. Always whispering in my head. Saying I was fatter than her. Saying I deserved all the things that happened to me. Even when I was bleeding out on this floor, you look at the cold, cluttered, uncomfortable, drafty room. Whatever happened to her face and arm must have happened here. You see a broken figure silhouetted on the wall. You look back at Vriska, and you know what she is. For all the bombast, insulting, killing, you're looking at a survivor. You're looking at someone who did nothing wrong. You remember Dave's carefully crafted defense of a persona. You remember Rose eating oatmeal for dinner in a drafty, brutalist mansion. Jade in the shadow of a volcano, raising herself. Your world can be as brutal as this one. Earth makes survivors too, and you have to make a difference for them, one at a time. All of the nihilistic bullshit earlier feels like it was shouted at you by some meddling voice, someone holding the strings. Fuck that. You're going to be a goddamn hero today. You're going to make friends with this whole fucking planet if you have to. And you're going to make it better, or at least less of a complete dumpster. You tell Vriska you'll be right back and sprint down the spiral staircase. You keep running, pumping your beautiful legs straight out the door of Vriska's giant hive. You don't have to color inside the lines of someone else's story. This is your motherfucking story. Can I actually go back? This is your motherfucking narrative now. You take a leap when you reach the cliff and barrel over, falling fast. Wind whipping past your face as you tumble through the air towards the giant white spider. A leap not of faith, but of hope. You crash into the carapace of Vriska's terrible murder mom hard, cracking it with a piercing shriek. At the same time, you zap hundreds of feet above the mouth of a volcano on Jade's Island. Zap hundreds of feet above the mouth of the volcano on Jade's Island, and kick off the back of the spider, leaving the giant, troll-gorging arachnid tumbling into the lava as you zap back to Alternia, back to Vriska's respite block. You appear behind her. She doesn't notice you. She's looking out her window, down at the empty web, with a shocked expression. Still looking out the window, her stunned silence turns, slowly, into a grin someone less generous than you would describe as shit-eating. Holy shit, Major Pain Boot! You actually did something! Oh, actually, that kind of felt like it brought some emotions, because not everyone is facing a giant spider of a mom to try and survive against, or even a brother that they have to face off against. Sometimes the greatest enemies you have, and the ones that are survivors, are against themselves. I think that whole story kind of gave me a new respect for Vriska. But also gave me the idea to give this message at the end of this episode. Everybody has their own faults, and everybody also has their own struggles. I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of facing my own struggles lately, and it's not easy. But I'll also say that if you can make it past your struggles and survive, that it will shape your person to be stronger than it was. But also, don't boot out the people that can possibly help you. And don't necessarily lean too heavily on people either, because sometimes that's not a good thing either. I guess what I'm trying to say is to try and find a happy medium of getting people to help you, but also helping others if you can. Because we've been going through some hard times honestly, as a world, I think, these days. I do believe that the end is pretty close. But when that end comes, don't forget to help out people, even if it's not with a sickness or with injuries that are physically out there. And if you are someone that is needing a lot of help, don't be afraid to ask for it. That was a lot of seriousness at that message there from a goofy guy that just likes to do voices for everybody to try and entertain them. But I guess that is my main goal for this channel. I think I've said it several times, but I think that last message is one of the more serious ways I can try to help if you'll listen. And this funny guy might seem to be funny, but also keep in mind he has some hardships too. All those people that want to try and entertain people, they're doing it because they may have seen some hardships in their life and they want to help others. At least that's my viewpoint of it. Is I've seen some people go and have some hard times, and I've even had some hard times that sometimes just some goofy laughing things are what is needed to help out. But I'm also not going to say that that's the only help out that some people need. Even for myself. I think this is the first time I've actually done something serious in one of my videos. And I actually apologize if it's getting long for a video, but I think that needed to be said for a lot of people, for myself, for those of you watching, and honestly some of the friends that I have that might be seeing these videos. I want to thank you guys for being part of my life, if any of you are watching this episode. I'm glad to be part of your life, and this goes to even the viewers, that I'm glad to be part of your life in even a minuscule way. And if I do get a chance to help out, I'm glad that I do. And I actually have a goal for anyone watching this video. A very serious goal. Try to do something positive for somebody. If you see that they're hurting, or you can tell that there's something going on, don't be afraid to maybe go up to them and ask them if they need a little bit of help. 'Cause that's another thing. Not everyone wants to accept help because they feel like they sometimes just need to deal with it. And I'll be honest, I sometimes feel that way too. So if you can go out and help somebody, make the world a better place, even by a minuscule amount, for all 250 some of you by the time of this video, it'll be a better place. Because even the tiniest little bit of help helps. You don't have to comment that you did something in the comments, and it doesn't have to be anyone major that you ask for to help. It can even just be your own family. Because sometimes the most help someone needs is just someone to talk to. I'm sorry for a whole lot of seriousness, but I felt like I needed to get that out, and not just out to somebody, but to a viewing public. Since I do have a bit of a platform to do it now. Or I have somewhat of a platform. But I'm going to end the video after that message. I've rambled on enough and given my message out there. I'm hoping next time maybe it won't be super serious. But if it does get serious, maybe it's not too bad. Maybe I'll... Honestly, I think this Pesterquest series has kind of had its ups and downs and whatnot, but it's given some good lessons if you look deep. And has inspired me to give messages. So, but I want to thank you guys for watching and listening. If you liked it, please put a like on the video. If you want to see more of my content and gameplay of this stuff, please subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss anything I upload. And as always, I will see you tomorrow. Be safe out there, and don't be afraid to help. If you can see that you need help to help someone. And don't be afraid to ask either. You are all lovely people.